36%, 55%. This is how much the Bitwise 10 crypto index fund was up today and yesterday. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's basically been flat. This is why you shouldn't be buying BITW, which is the Bitwise 10 crypto index fund. And let's jump into it right now. So Bitcoin in November/early December has gone back to highs. That's right. It is in the $19,000 range as of filming this video. And to say the least, there are some index funds that are trading at crazy valuations. So Bitwise 10 crypto index fund, ticker BITW, is one of them. And it launched, I believe, last Wednesday. So it's been trading on the public market for like a week. I think they've had this fund for a while. It is a traded fund. It tracks 10 cryptocurrency holdings. The most notable one is Bitcoin, which it has 77% of its assets in Bitcoin. The next two highest holdings are Ethereum and Ripple or XRP at, let's see, 13.01% and 4.64%. That's right on their website, you can actually look at the top 10 holdings and the percent of weight for each of those holdings. It's very easy, guys. You can go right to their website and see exactly what their holdings are. Now, not only can you do this, you can go and see exactly what one share of this index fund should cost, AKA the NAV or net asset value. And this is key when you are looking at buying these index funds that track an underlying asset. So BITW is one. Another example is GBTC. That's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. These are probably the two biggest, most notable crypto funds that you can buy in a traditional, brokerage account. And the benefit to these, I would say, is that you can buy these in an IRA or Roth IRA, for example, and you have the tax benefits to go along with it. Otherwise, you're probably better off buying Bitcoin outright. And let's get into that a little bit further. Hey, if you guys are enjoying these videos, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out, would really help the channel, and helps out with the YouTube algorithm. But back to the Bitwise, why you maybe shouldn't buy this content. So on my computer, I have bitwiseinvestments.com/fund/bitwise-10. This takes you to the BITW Bitwise 10 crypto index fund information. Gives you the ticker, the CUSIP, and more importantly, the market price. So right now on their website, I'm looking at a market price of $81.50 per share. That means for every share of this fund that I want to buy, it costs me $81.50. However, right next to that, it says the intraday NAV, which is the net asset value. What it does is it looks at the total number of Bitcoin that it holds, as well as the other 9 assets, adds up the total amount, multiplies them by their respective prices. So for example, for every Bitcoin, it would multiply by 19,500 whatever dollars. And then you would divide that by the total number of shares that this index fund has issued or are publicly trading. And that's how you would get a net asset value. So what this is saying is that the net asset value of the Bitwise 10 crypto index fund is $17.31. Now, if you guys are following, it's trading at $81 and the net asset value is $17. That's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Basically, what it's saying is people are willing to pay a huge premium just to own Bitcoin or exposure to Bitcoin and the 9 other crypto assets in this index fund through an index fund versus buying them directly. And I would therefore advise not to buy this, or let's just say I'm not going to advise anybody to do anything. I personally am not going to buy this because it's basically saying that instead of buying Bitcoin dollar for dollar and just purchasing it directly, instead, you're going to go in here and you're going to pay $81.50 for a net asset value of $17.31, which is roughly a 4.7 times multiple on the price of the underlying assets. So that would be like me saying, hey, do you want to buy Bitcoin? Well, I'll buy it for you, but instead of you paying me $19,500 for one Bitcoin, I'm going to charge you 4.7 times as much and then just go buy Bitcoin for $19,500. $1,500. So I'm gonna charge you like $100,000, and I'm gonna buy one Bitcoin for 19,000. Like that, right? It doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna pay 5 times the price for something just because it's traded on an exchange. Now, this is different when you look at like institutional investors, right? Like they might not be able to take client money and allocate it into a Coinbase account or a Robinhood, somewhere that allows you to buy Bitcoin directly. And therefore their only option, thank you, Aston, their only option is to go through an index fund like this. And that's where this premium comes into play. Or people that don't understand this and don't realize that they're paying 4.7 times the price of the underlying assets for that. So I would personally not touch this with a 10-foot pole. I think this is gonna go down quite significantly. It should be trading at $17 a share, not $81 a share. And yeah. Now another index fund, GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. You can also go to their website. They're trading at a more reasonable premium. And that premium I think is around like 15%. It varies day to day, obviously, but you can look that up as well. Now, this is something I would consider looking into if you want to buy it in like an IRA account, right? A Roth IRA, 401k, whatever it is. If you can buy it in one of those accounts, there are benefits. Yes, you're paying a 50% premium, but for example, I personally own GBTC in my Roth IRA. In a Roth IRA, you don't have to pay any taxes on capital gains. So GBTC is technically just direct exposure to Bitcoin, meaning the fund holds X amount of Bitcoin and you buy X amount of shares in the fund, there's a net asset value again, and that's how you get exposure to Bitcoin without buying Bitcoin directly. So it is trading at a little bit of a premium, but the benefit is I pay 0 taxes. So any appreciation on GBTC going into the future, I can sell, make 100% profit, double my money, and pay no taxes on any of that. So those are all things to take into consideration when you're looking at these funds. But the key that I want you guys to take away is the net asset value. I see so many people posting on like stock tweets, whatever you want to call that website, and just like reading things about it. And I don't think people understand what these index funds are. Like you're not actually buying Bitcoin. You're buying a fund that holds Bitcoin. And therefore there is like a direct correlation. And this fund was up 36% today. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is not up 36% today, and it's 77% of the fund. So if you understand what I'm saying, this shouldn't be up 36% today. However, based on supply and demand, there's only a certain amount of shares. It might not be shortable, blah, 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 blah. It's basically just going up because there's only so many shares available. If people aren't selling their shares, it's just gonna keep rising. That is until it crashes. So just be very wary buying one of these funds when the NAV is $17 and the market price is $81, because you could lose a lot of money, you could get in a lot of trouble. And if you really just want exposure to Bitcoin, I would personally just open like a Coinbase account and buy it through them. I think Kraken is also a US exchange that you can buy through. And Robinhood might even, I think certain states you can buy through Robinhood, just buy Bitcoin directly. I think I personally would rather do that than buy something like Bitwise, trading at 4.7 times the underlying assets. That just doesn't make sense. It's crazy. However, that's similar to when you look at stocks, right? How do you determine what the value is for that, right? This allows you to get exposure in your Roth IRA or something. And there really isn't anything else out there that is an index fund that tracks 10 crypto indexes the exact way that this does. So if this is exactly what you're looking for, this is then the only way to purchase it, unless you want to go out and buy each one of those 10 cryptocurrencies individually. So, you know, just things to think about, but some food for thought. Look at the NAV, look at the market price, and then determine, is it really worth it? Or should you just buy Bitcoin itself, Ethereum itself, Ripple itself, Cardano itself? Like, just buy the individual assets. So just be careful out there, guys. The market's getting kind of crazy, similar to with like Tesla, right? The PE ratio is over 1,000. That's crazy to me. Now, it could just keep going up. Could just keep going up. I mean, it clearly did that when it was at a 500 PE, 800 PE, a 900 PE. It just kept going. So if you sold then, yes, you left some money off the table. But a lot of times when things crash, they crash hard, and it's tough to get out when that happens. So, you know, take some profits along the way if you can, but also be wary investing at these crazy multiples, crazy highs, and just make sure you do your due diligence and your research and know what you're getting into. That is key. Just because it's going up 36% every day doesn't mean you should take part in that. Also, you could lose a ton of money. So hope this was helpful. If you guys have some questions, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Really help me out and helps out the YouTube algorithm. But either way, that's gonna be it for this vlog. Remember, net asset value, market price. Shouldn't be trading at too much of a premium. But that is gonna be it for this video. So until the next one, guys, thanks for watching.